Hey, everybody. I want to thank all you guys once again for hanging in there. I don't know why we were having technical difficulty, but we're here. We're going to call this part 2 once again. So we're going to jump right back into it with Twisted Black. Twisted Black, once again, I apologize for that.
That was my fault.
It's all good. We rarely have, these kind of little hiccups, but we're here, and we're going to pick up right where we left off. So we were talking about junior high. We're talking about gangs in Fort Worth that didn't really start popping till like Colors came out, you said.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Let me rephrase that because I can't speak for the Spanish community.
Okay.
You dig what I'm saying? But the Crips, Bloods, the Blacks, the ones, no, it wasn't popping then.
Okay. Around what year would you say it became the gang capital?
I can't say it has ever been the gang capital, but it was the murder capital.
The murder capital. I'm sorry.
That was 91.
91.
Yeah, it was 91.
Wow.
And so the gangs really got prevalent around, say around 87, 88. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What year did Colors come out?
Around 87, 88.
When Colors came out, motherfucker was like, I'm going to be a Blood. Fuck that, I'm going to be a Crip. I'm like, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So, and then, you had people, you had a couple guys that came from L.A. One of them was like one of my mentors. We call him L.A. Ryan. Y'all call him Fish out here. I don't know if you know Fish. Mm-hmm. He came down, him and E-Mac, a few other guys, some with Blood, some with Crips, and brought a whole nother element to the town.
Wow.
So, and he got rich real quick, did a bunch of time. Shout out to him. He just got home after doing 34 years.
34 years?
Yeah, he did 34. He been out, I want to say, got out last year sometime. I ended up doing time with him in Victorville.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, we're going to get into that because I know you did 17 years.
I did.
Okay, we're going to talk about that. But now, tell us, so you leave junior high school. Did you graduate junior high school?
No, I ended up getting locked up at like 16.
And what was the reason for that?
Motherfucker told on me.
Somebody just snitched.
Yeah, we was back then. Shit, we was pulling little jobs at Kmart and Walmart, stealing answering machines, Sudafed and shit, taking it back, and this motherfucker told on me. Then so the security guard came chasing me, and I ran over the security guard. He snatched off the paper plate. When he snatched the paper plate off, he had the paper plate, but the paper plate came back to nothing. But my partner had got caught, so he told.
Wow.
Yeah, we kids.
How long did you do?
I think I did maybe 6-9 months, something like that. Just boys home shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And shit just never stopped. You know what I mean?
It's funny that I got caught breaking into an elementary school just for bullshit, just to break in, see if we can break into my old classroom.
Right.
And somebody snitched, of course, or somebody just called the cops. I mean, they weren't affiliated or nothing like that. And the cops pulled me over. Man, I go to court almost a whole damn year because since I'm a minor, they want to see how I'm doing in school.
Right.
Up to that point, I'm doing good. And then finally, one of the teachers gave me like a FUU on math. I always sucked at math. So, but I had to take that specific report card to court. And the judge just said, nah. You're going. So he gave me a month, but I don't know what happened. I only did like a week and a half. And after that, they booted me.
Right. Wow.
So, yeah, so I went to Los Padrinos, which is just a, what would you call that? Juvenile hall.
Oh, yeah. That's what it was for me, too.
Okay.
Juvenile, yeah. But, I wasn't just bad, but I was just mischievous shit.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
So you go to 10th, 11th, 12th. How was that like? Any sports?
Fuck no. Boxing. My dad was a professional boxer, so I
Really?
So I used to just, fight a little bit. That was my thing.
Who was your pops?
His name is Tommy Burns. He fought professionally out of Detroit.
Okay, I thought you were going to say he was a hurricane.
No, fuck no. I wish.
Yeah, that was a hell of a movie, though.
Yeah. I need the royalties. Yeah, they some of that residual pop.
Oh, okay. That's cool. So was he ever a champ?
Fuck no, he ain't had nothing. He just, but he was professional, so you ain't got nothing. He was gonna beat your ass, but
yeah,
he wasn't really just like, I ain't gonna cap. He wasn't knock him up. Well, and I was too much of a child to know. But my mother, so of course your father wants you to get in boxing, right? When he's a professional, so she would tell me this, and I didn't understand it until I got older. She would be like, "Oh no, I can't take seeing you get knocked stupid."
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, well, who else got knocked stupid? It was him.
Yeah, it was him.
So she seen him take punches that she didn't want. She couldn't bear to see her child take.
Yeah.
But shit, and then she told me as I got older, she said, "Damn, if I'd have knew you was gonna fight this much, I'd have went on and let you box."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, hell, I could throw a football for shit.
Really? What about baseball, basketball?
None of that shit. So I was doing music.
Yeah.
Playing the piano and shit.
Yeah. See, and that was one of my questions. Did you ever play any instruments growing up?
Absolutely, man. I had cousins that were really 2, 3 more times talented than me. And so I picked up playing keys and chords from them. I used to sleep on the basement floor in Flint, Michigan of Silver Sun's recording studio. Bernard Terry was one of the toughest guys. He used to mix for Shalimar, Anita Baker, all of those big people. So I grew up watching those knobs turn when it was analog. And, so I kind of grew up in the music and I kind of adopted it.
I believe, if I'm correct, I know I don't want to say it wrong, Detroit, Michigan, that's where Roger's from, huh? Roger Troutman?
I'm not sure. Probably.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'll be lying.
You guys on the live chat, if Roger Troutman is from Detroit, Michigan, put it on there, or at least what part of Detroit.
And forgive me for not knowing. I already done brought the Texas heat up in here.
Yeah.
Burnt your shit up. So I'm write you a check when I leave.
It's all good. It's all good. So about what age would you say you started dabbling in writing as far as lyrics?
11.
11 years old. Who did you grow up listening to? Who was out at that time?
It wasn't. I didn't start writing because of rap. I started writing my mother poetry.
Okay.
Now keep in mind, I'm my only child, right? My mother was her and my dad was my favorite motherfuckers in the world. Yeah. So I would start writing her poetry. Like, you could be a poet. Your mother gonna tell you all kind of stuff.
Of course.
And then this song, man, I hate to tell you this. Okay, because people gonna know that I'm older than motherfucker, right? The song came out called Your Mama.
That's right. I said Your Mama.
Doom, 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 doom. And that was, I'm like, whoa, what the fuck was that? Yeah. And that's when I started writing the lyrics, bro.
Wow. Yep. Your Mama. That was an independent record too. Yeah. I'm trying to remember that guy's name.
Well, you bad.
What was it? Wolf Pickett? Wolf Pickett? Alex, look it up. Your Mama.
You tough.
Yeah. Well, I started selling records.
You nailed that. You tough.
Yes. I used to sell records. I was 11 years old. So vinyl's like been my thing. I think it's Wolf something. But yeah, and then remember K Solo? He came out with another one called "Your Mom's in My Business." She's in my business. Your mom's in my business. K Solo, everybody, look that up. But
I remember K Solo. Did he have like a big nose?
Yes, that's him. Yeah. I think that was like his first like known song. But so that one right there, you know who I heard at a young age too, and I just thought he was fucking hilarious, was Blowfly.
Oh yeah.
Remember Rap Dirty? What did he say? Rap Dirty. What I thought was a bitch was nothing but a man. So he was talking about trans back then.
Way back when. Hey man, if you go back and play Curtis, because that's usually when I do a podcast, I could dunk their ass with music. But I ain't even gonna try it with you. You gonna block my shot. But when you go back and listen to like Curtis Blow and Sugar Hill and all of that, don't push me cause I'm close to the edge. Man, they saying the same things that we saying right now.
Right now.
Except the times just is a little bit more drastic.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, literally, when you go back and play that, he's saying, man, I'm about to blow. I'm really about to crash out.
Yes. The message, and then he came with the message part 2/survival. Remember that, John?
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Think about it. Yeah. I mean, they was really giving you the game like, man, it's hard out here. Barely making it. About to go crazy.
Yes.
Same
Can't
thing.
even watch the game or the Sugar Ray fight.
See what I'm saying?
The bill collectors to ring my phone and scare my wife when I'm not home. Man, it was like
thought education, double-digit inflation, training, there's a strike at the station. Come on, man.
Yes.
It's like they can see the future.
Yeah, amazing lyrics, bro. Curtis Blow was my favorite rapper growing up. Okay. And I had a chance to meet him in 1997 or 96, and I actually was able to tell him what his music meant to me, bro.
Wow.
So I was heavily influenced by a lot of that shit that was coming out of New York. Because at the time, that's where all that was coming out.
That's where everything was coming from.
Whether it was UTFO, whether it was the Fat Boys, Run DMC, the Beastie Boys, and then from there, of course, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. Grandmaster Flash was the guy that really inspired me to be a DJ.
Okay. I'm finna tell you something gonna blow you. Okay. Okay, I'm telling my age again, but look, because you named UTFO. You remember Ready for the World?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if they would have a clip of this because it's so old. I never looked for it either. But you remember PM Magazine?
PM Magazine, yeah.
Back in the day, that was one of the first little shows,
Right.
Man, I was dancing for them on that. They went to PM Magazine, and I was there because I used to dance my ass off, be ticking and break dancing and shit, and they had me dancing on that. It was Ready for the World. They used to be called the Boys then, though. Matter of fact, they might have been Ready for the World back then. But they grew up in my neighborhood in Detroit, see.
Ready
My
for the
cousin
World.
used to mess with them, and they do music all together. Yeah.
That was that, oh, Sheila.
Boy, you tough. I don't even want to do this. You tough.
Digital display. Remember that song?
What?
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah, man.
I bet you got something in the crate. We need to make an album.
Yeah, okay.
I bet you got some shit.
Okay.
Yes,
That's one thing when it comes to music history, especially when it comes to rap, R&B. Like, I know it because I've been selling records since I've been 11 years old, and I've been DJing pretty much all of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So when something like that comes out, I know that. Like what's on Force MD's
Force MD?
Tears.
Oh yeah.
I just bumped that the other day, and it fucking brought me tears.
Right.
It's a fucking dope ass fucking song, man. We just had, to me back then, that's when hip hop was like fun, bro. It was just about partying.
It was.
I mean, look at Curtis Blow. I still bump Christmas rap every fucking Christmas. Christmas rapping. Was the night before Christmas. Hold up, man. That just play it out. And then dum 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 dum.
Yeah, come on.
Who was that? Who did that? Was that Next? Was it Next? Too Close? Yeah, it was, huh? Okay.
It was. Which one? The remake of it?
Yeah, they did the remake.
Okay,
yeah.
Remake of it. I thought you meant the original.
Did you find that song, your mama?
The Far Side?
No, that's the wrong one. Okay, well, I think one of them is like, it don't say Wolf, but I think you spell it WOFLE or something like that.
Well, if his name got,
That's it. See,
you tough. You tough.
Yeah, Mama.
your mama.
Yeah, mama. You tough.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Go to you ain't tell me you was gonna out music me. I thought I'd be OG in these motherfuckers. Yeah.
I already out push up Go Toes, and I already out arm wrestled Go Toes. So he's got to look for another match.
No, you gotta run that back, Go to. We gotta get the fade back. Man.
Exactly. So now you start writing around 11, and do you remember what you were writing to, as far as like what instrumental, or you were just saying lyrics?
It was pretty much off of, I think I want to say, without getting up here capping and shit, whatever was out.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then I never forget, I started writing to some of Luther Vandross songs back then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's why on my album, my album just came out called Storytime. It came out about 2 weeks ago, doing really well. I did one called Where? Into a Luther Vandross track.
Okay.
Because that is like been stuck in my head since I was a kid.
Wow.
And I make reference to, like, how everybody was disappearing. When I came home, because before I left, I was on my way.
Yeah.
Then I came home and couldn't find no help, and then once I linked in with Deion Sanders on that freestyle and everything turned around.
Wow.
Quickly.
And we're going to get to that. Okay, we're going to get to that. But I like the people to know your origins.
Okay.
So like now you're in high school. Do you at all appear in any talent shows? Do you rap, backyard ditching party, or anything?
Man, listen. Now, don't get into it. I'm telling you, this is when it was cool. See, a lot of people won't be vulnerable and tell the truth. Man, every house party, at the skating ring, at the cookouts, I'm dancing, man. If I ain't dancing, I wasn't doing rapping like that. I was just rapping, freestyling,
Okay.
when I get high with my partners and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I got shot that I started, what, let me go ahead and start riding around with them, make a demo and stuff like that. But other than that, I was pop locking like a motherfucker. I pop lock for about 30, 45 minutes, win the contest, and be ready to fight. That's when it was cool to do all that shit. I ain't lying.
Oh, shit.
What? Jerry curl juice everywhere.
Wow, you had a jury.
Man, what? I had the Jerry.
like Dion.
See, Dion had all the money, but his curl was whack. I ain't gonna lie. Dion shit wasn't nothing like mine because I had good hair too. So my shit, I turn this way, the hair go that way. Yeah,
like Cookie Head Jenkins. Remember Hollywood Shuffle?
I do not.
He was like,
yeah, glycerin everywhere. Lay back on the glycerin everywhere, and that was the truth.
Yeah,
man. My mother be like, "Don't lay your head on that couch."
Yeah,
I said, "Don't lay your head on the back of my seat."
Yeah.
Man, where can I put my head? Nowhere.
How was your pillow?
Oh man, looked like silk. It looked like silk. Look, my shit stayed moist.
Wow.
Man, scrub in it. But back then we used to sleep with the bag on, with the plastic bag. What the women call it bondage now, but ours is plastic. See.
Okay.
Remember the see-through bag?
Yes.
Bag on.
And that's how you take a shower as well, right?
Oh yeah, you ain't want to wet it up.
Yeah, you didn't want to wet that shit up.
All the Negro would come out of your curl quickly. That should go from a curl to an afro in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, because you know what? It was funny because I was in Hawaii with High C, and we were supposed to be there 10 days. I wake up one day, and he's gone. Like, what the hell happened? He took the rental car and everything. So I go downstairs, and I asked the lady, the receptionist, hey, my friend Crawford, did he leave? Oh, yeah, he checked out this morning. He didn't tell me shit. Like, oh, well, you can go get another rental car, blah, blah, blah. So hours passed, so I finally called his ass, and I reached him at home, and I'm like, man, what the fuck happened? You left me here. Yeah, I had to leave. Why? I ran out of Whirls of Curl. It's Jerry Juice.
Yes, Lord.
He said, I can't be walking. I go, you could have fucking told me, bro.
Tragedy.
Yes, tragedy.
Tragedy. What? Man, listen. I'm going to tell you something. Hey, look, I had a thing, a curl activator, no exaggeration, was big as this thing right here in the middle. Fat bottle.
Fuck.
Red and blue. The little knob. Man, you got to have the activator. Then you had the glycerin. And the activator, you don't use it all the time. You just hit it a few times a week. But then you come with the glycerin, you got here. That's where you get the sheen look. You
got that soul glow.
Yeah, so, man, killing something. Then my shit used to hang in the front. So,
oh, shit.
Real talk, I'd had so many fights behind that.
Who had that? Was it Jesse Johnson from the time? Remember he
Oh,
had that?
yeah. He was one of the originators.
Yeah, that was dope. Yeah. Okay, so now you talked about popping. Who would you say was more of influence in Fort Worth? Was it California or New York when it came to the dancing?
It would have to be California. Well, okay, hold on. Let me. I'm gonna have to ask you a question. Where did Ozone come from?
Okay, Ozone. I know he's from L.A.
Okay, well then it's California.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because I would say the rap was coming out of New York.
Right.
But the hidden and the ticket and all shit, that y'all had it on lock.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Now you are familiar with Turbo, right?
Turbo, yeah.
Okay,
Turbo and Ozone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you know where Turbo's from?
No.
Here.
Oh, right here.
His parents still live like 3-4 blocks away.
Okay, well then, yeah.
Yeah,
definitely. Because it wasn't a broom safe after I saw that shit. Like, anytime I'll come in your house where your broom at for. Yeah, I'm straight, straight to what. Right now, if you got a broom, I fuck something.
Yeah.
You know?
You know one thing I will say about him, that back then there were just these poppers out here, bro, when I was in junior high school. They were fucking amazing, bro. And out of the 4 or 5 amazing poppers, he was the weakest one. Turbo was.
Wait.
The weakest one. But I'm going to tell you one thing, because I hung around with him one summer and he taught me how to pop. One thing about him that he had that those guys didn't have, because those guys were gangsters, okay? And they were slanging and banging. He was a comedian. So he had like charisma. So somebody probably saw him saying a fucking joke, making a face, and said, that goes good on camera. And he could dance.
Right.
But that's when he became very, very famous and surpassed all these guys up. But I don't, he was ever better. These guys were more poppers. He was more a boogaloo guy. And so he had more like a wave type of deal. He was dope. And then Poppin' Taco, I don't know what they called him on breaking. Was that Mexican dude that was popping and breaking? He had the beret? Yeah. He's from Long Beach, the city next door. He recently passed away, rest in peace as well. Okay. But yeah, a lot of them all came from out here, man.
Man, I'm going to tell you something too. Like, again, I'm going to be vulnerable. Do you know, like, when it comes down to the dance, like, that's something that's in me. Like, I can't move like that anymore, right? You know? But do you know how many times, like, when I'm alone I've tried to do the crump dance. Like, nobody's looking. Fuck yeah. I just want to do that shit. When I see
That shit look like it will hurt me, bro.
it does. Don't do it, bro.
Okay,
Don't do it. It's like getting shot. But look, but when I saw Tommy the Clown, I'm like, oh, that shit is hard. Then you got to keep in mind now, we come from the dancing era, so I'm like, yeah, I know I can do that shit, but I can't let nobody see
Just
it.
can't let nobody see it.
So when ain't nobody there and I'm trying that shit, I tried it. I ain't gonna bullshit. I ain't too guys to say that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fuck yeah.
Now, do you ever record yourself and go back and look at it?
Dancing?
Yeah.
When I was a kid?
No, now.
Fuck no. You finna drag me. He tried to put me in that rabbit hole right there. Like, oh, so you still do it, Black? Fuck all that. You good, but no, I'm kind of good.
I'll just say, Joe, it's a couple of moves.
No, yeah, right. Hey, but look, what I really thought about when you said that that you used to get down is I thought about like if, because Gold Toes got that money. Like Gold Toes, if you want me to get that fade back, then him and I can go at it a little bit. You know what I mean? I shoot him something and see what's happening.
You hear that, Gold Toes? All good. Now, okay. At one point in your life, because it's obvious, you were shot.
Right.
Okay. How old were you when you were shot?
19.
You were 19 years old. Can you walk us through that? I'm sure you've shared this before, but my audience doesn't know the story, of Twisted Black.
Okay, can they see it if I turn my head?
You can see it right. See it right here. Can you touch it right there?
Right there. So I was 19. I was in the street, thinking I was rich, getting at the money, and I can't say who done it, right. but somebody tried to put me down. So okay. Well, let me clarify that because I know putting down out here is different. Yeah, somebody tried to kill me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not like gang shit, but I basically got set up.
Okay, I was gonna say, was it somebody you knew?
Well, I was out with a girl, and she knew the play, and rumor has it rather, some people, she got me there. I was with my friend, and he was with a girl, and then she set me up, but she didn't know they were gonna kill me. They, supposedly they were just
gonna jump you.
That's something I don't know.
Okay.
They couldn't have thought they were gonna jump me because I was already laying motherfuckers down. Like so, I don't know really what they told her, but they did. And so the dude kind of came up behind me because I was leaning in her car window talking to her. And this how I knew it's nothing nobody else could tell me that she didn't know, that she thought it was gonna happen like that because I'm talking to her. You making eye contact with somebody, right? So I'm like on my knee with my elbows in her window, and when she looked past me like what the fuck?
Yeah.
And when she did that, that's what made me turn around. And when I turned around, as soon as I stood up, he had it kind of like right in my face.
A shotgun.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know how, because I don't remember everything. I don't know how, if it was dead in my face and I turned my back, or if it was at my back and then I turned my face. You know what I mean? Either way, it knocked me about 3 feet in the air. And then he stood over me to finish me off. But my best friend, Caddy, shout out to Caddy, just leaned down in the seat and pressed the gas coming at him in the car, and he let those shots off in the side of the car. So he didn't get a chance to go, splat me out. Yeah.
Wow. So when he left you, obviously he ran off. When he left you, he knew that he didn't kill you.
Fuck no. It looked like he killed me because he shot my whole face off.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a slug, 12 gauge. So he I know I got him, but whoever had paid him to do it, he was finna finish the job. So shouts out to him. He was a real Kelly. He wasn't playing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Did you ever find out who that was?
Without.
Yeah, throwing it all out there.
Well, I went through a lineup of motherfuckers that I thought it was. So if I missed him, then guy was on his side, and sometimes you miss.
Yeah.
But this guy wasn't on everybody's side. So.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's why I say whoever did it. This is like one of the mysteries for like certain people. Of course they know, but they never just really wiggled out for me to know, because they didn't brag about it. It was just a paid hit, and like, nigga, I ain't about, hey.
Do you believe God had his hand upon you that day?
1,000%, my boy. 1,000%. Because when I realized, I thought somebody hit me with a bat. So like I said, I used to fight too. So I thought somebody hit me with a bat. So I'm trying to get up to fight, and my best friend was like, "Lay down." I said, I'm thinking in my mind like somebody hit me with a bat. And he said, "They shot you in your mouth. Lay down." And I just said, "Lord, if you ever been with me, be with me now." And I remember looking to the side, and blood was just coming out, like a lot of blood. And then some white guy happened to be on the scene, held my legs up real high. And then they called my play sister. By the time I get to the house, they called my, which is his wife, and she's always been like light years ahead of us in responsibility. So she came filling and making sure I was good. And the doctors hadn't even noticed I was paralyzed on my left side.
Oh, wow.
It took her to realize I was paralyzed on my left side. So went back to surgery, and
How many surgeries and how long did it take for you to really fully heal?
fully heal, maybe a year or so. Like, I ain't gonna say fully healed because, truthfully speaking, the paralysis on the left side probably came back within 6 months. Then there was I had to get several surgeries on the scar.
Yeah.
Then they did like 3 surgeries that night. And then there's the part that nobody really thinks about. I went from a pretty black, smooth motherfucker that could fight and wood slang iron to this motherfucker. So then there was the mental part.
Yeah.
And that took a long time to, a scar on you. Think about it when you got a pimple or a scratch on your face. I don't give a fuck who you are. Like, God damn, look at this shit right here. You know what I mean? But this motherfucker right here, I'm like, God damn.
When you first saw yourself in the mirror again, what went through your mind, bro?
Nobody ever asked me that. What made you? Nobody ever asked me that. Because there's a story behind it. It's quick. I paid $122,000 for what they were calling cosmetic surgery. And I never forget when because they had the actual patch stitched. If you look above it, you can see the stitch mark. They'll never go anywhere.
Yeah.
They had it stitched on there, right? So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be cool. All the money I just paid to get this motherfucker right. You know what I mean? I never forget the day in the doctor's office and shit. My mother standing behind me. I'm excited and shit. And he took he took it off. And I was like, what the fuck? Because the skin, you got the skin graft, that come off your ass. So they cut this little slab, it looked like a slab of bacon, going across, and there's a big ass circle right here. And it ain't even covering the whole circle.
Oh, wow.
Really, but what it was is in time it grows and mends.
Right.
But I wasn't knowing none of that. So to answer your question, when they took it off, I'm like, oh, this nigga fucked me up. I'm fucked up. Look like a monster, bro. Because you could look from the outside and see my teeth.
Wow.
It was a slug.
Wow.
True, am I lying? True story. You could look from the outside and see me. They had my teeth were blown in my mouth. They were in my mouth when they did the surgery. So they took my teeth. This is how amazing God is. They took my teeth that were blown in my mouth and just sat them inside the gum, and they re-root. Yeah. True story.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, dead ass. Because keep in mind, my jaw's wired shut because the jaw's gone. It's all metal. So my shit's wired shut. So they sit them back where they go because the teeth weren't damaged. They were just blown the fuck out. So they sit them back in there, wire my mouth shut, and they re-root.
Wow.
True story.
Okay, to me, since I'm not a dentist, that's a miracle.
Did you just get a loss of words right there?
Yes, I did.
That don't happen, but that's why they call me Twisted Black.
Tell us why.
Because of that, I was when I said that 12 gauge slug twisted me up, And then when I rap, my mouth twists a little bit. And then when you hear the words that's coming out of my mouth, you like, oh, I get it.
I heard the words, but I thought you were named after the Twisted Lemonade.
No, I've heard that though. Twisted Tea. All that. Yeah. Yeah, no, man. Yeah. Really, they should have named me Miracle. But yeah, God is good. When my time to go?
You know what? It's funny you say that. Okay, let me tell you a quick story. Something similar, but obviously not the same, but something similar. I want to say it was 1991. Okay, I had a Cadillac on these. It was a 87 Cadillac. I believe it. 2-door, gold Dayton's on it, and I'm fucked up driving my homie home from partying. It was 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. And I remember I'm just like this, barely keep my eyes open because I'm falling asleep driving him home. So he gets off, I flip with you, and it's only a one-way, okay? So I had to go back. And I see a guy from a distance, maybe a block away, and he's waving in the middle of the fucking street. He's just waving. I'm like, I didn't see his ass, going in. And he's waving like this. And I'm like, fuck, what the fuck? Now, I was thinking, okay, if I'm going to give him a ride, how am I going to give him a ride? Because the handle on my door was broke. So I always rolled down the window and opened it from the outside. But I had my windows. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? How am I going to open up the door? So I drive, and I'm like this. And he's right there. And he's going like this. And as soon as I pulled up next to him, he went like this. And he just started blasting me. He just started shooting me. And I remember I just went down and I pressed the gas, okay? I must have got maybe about 30 feet and my car stopped, okay? And I see him through my mirror, and then he busts my window because he keeps shooting. And my car's boom, 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 boom. And then finally he picks up when he got about 5 feet away from me because he would have smoked me and I couldn't have opened up my door to run out. So I took off, went to my friend's house, maybe about 5 blocks away. I parked it in his garage, outside of his garage. And I went inside and said, hey, bro, come here. Somebody just shot me. My whole car was shot up. The back was shot up and everything. And I was like, bro, they shot up my fucking car, bro. They shot up my fucking car. And then he looked at me, he goes, you dumb motherfucker. Have you checked if you've been shot? But I was fucked up already. And I was like, I don't feel shot. I said, I feel wet. I've been sweating. Take off your shirt. Nothing, bro. But I remember the guy was this close to me. Now, when we jacked up my car, one of the bullets must have ricocheted the ground and went into the oil filter. Because when we jacked it up, he looked at it, took it off, and he click, 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 and the bullet was in there. But it wasn't my time.
Hell no, it wasn't your time.
It wasn't my time, bro. So when it's your time, it's your time. But when it's not,
definitely, yeah. And when it's your time, you gonna check out.
You know, one thing that I've heard about a lot of musicians that have died that were rich, all of them from what Elvis, and then Prince, Kurt Cobain, all of these megastars, one thing that they all had in common is that they all died alone.
Yeah.
You know what I think? It comes for you when you least expect it. You could be saying tonight in your room, I got to go here, I got to go to LA, I got to go to New York, I got to go this, and then you lay down and you slip into eternity.
That's it.
That's it. And then what really matters is what did you do with your life when you were here?
The in between. Yeah. And you start to think about that when you've been through a lot of things. That's why a lot of people ask, what would you do if you knew exactly who did it? Not a motherfucking thing. You kidding me?
Yeah.
Man, shit. Yeah, salute him for shutting the fuck up all that time. You know what I mean? Man, you a real gangster. You know what I mean? I'm not mad about that. I'm glad about that. I ain't glad I got shot. Glad I made it through that. Same thing with prison. All the motherfuckers that snitched on me. If I see him in the mall, I'm not finna do you nothing. Number one is because I don't want to go back to jail.
Yeah.
Right? And number two is because I'm just glad I made it through it.
Let's talk about your jail a little bit, because I know you did 17 years federal prison. For those, once again, that may not know who Twisted Black is, share with them who Twisted Black is. Why did you end up doing 17 years?
Well, okay, I'm going to split that up, and I don't want to lose the audience. Tommy Burns, which is me, got Twisted Black in trouble. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Twisted Black is just the artist. Does music, really good music.
Yes, I've heard it.
Fort Worth, Texas. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yes.
Fort Worth, Texas. So, but I was getting, I had bricks. I was getting money out the street. I was re-bricking them, and all the other shit, and I had it. That was my thing. But I didn't go to jail for that. I went to jail for conspiracy.
Okay.
To distribute. Right. But I had been out the game for 13 months already. And I was signing a new artist out of Midland. And he wanted me to come to his hometown bad. I'm like, man, I don't want to go to no motherfucking Midland, Texas, man. And I had a partner, man, rest his soul, RIP 40. He kept saying, man, don't go down there, man. Don't go down there. It's where the feds train at, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna go. Anyway, I ended up going.
Yeah.
And when because it was innocent. I'm going down there just to show his people that I'm really fooling with him. And he's not lying. He not so I go down there and I throw money and buy the bar and do all, I'll do a little capping. But made one huge mistake prior to that is I helped him because he was still in the game, see?
Yeah.
So I gave him a push one time. Not for no real monetary gain, just because I'm fucking with you.
Yeah.
So, okay, I gave him a push. And boy, I guess because that's such a little country town, they noticed the contrast in the work.
Oh.
So if you know, you know. And so they knew that he was fooling with me, but I didn't keep it. It was just literally that one time thing. And so
Yeah.
when he got caught up in the sting,
Uh-huh.
they ended up, the feds twist their arm like, who? We need to know the supplier, blah, blah, blah. Long story shorter, ended up being me. I went to trial because I wasn't going to take it. I ended up with 3 30-year sentences. I ended up with 90 years. And they ended up running them concurrent for 130.
Fuck.
Man, what?
I know Texas don't play.
This was the feds. The United States of America don't play. That's a different sentence read. When they say, he told me 360 months on the first count, 360 on the second count. I'm like, I hadn't even calculated the first 360. He said months. Because I'm thinking, I'm finna beat this shit. Once I realized I didn't beat it, because my lawyer had already told me I couldn't get no more than 12 to 15 years, worst case scenario.
Right.
And when he said 360 months, I'm like, oh, something ain't, that shit don't add up. So,
right.
And then when he said it 3 times, I'm like, this really don't add up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who is the other people getting sentenced today? Because it can't be me, but it was me. And so they consolidated them for 130. And I ended up doing 17 years and 2 months. That's when the first crack law came out in, I want to say 08. Got 3 years off of that. Then something came back, fair sentencing, I want to say around 10, between 10 and 15. And I got 62 months off of that. So now I'm chipping at that bitch little by little, then the last year, so I got out July 13th of 23. And that's when Trump had did the First Step Act. And I got that year, and that kicked me on out. So, July, I'll be out 2 years.
Wow.
Back on top of their helmets right now musically.
Wow.
Like I never left. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if somebody just said this because I didn't hear you say it. Somebody said that you had gotten in trouble for saying what you were doing on music.
Yeah. See, but two things happened. It's 2 different incidents. I was in Beaumont.
Beaumont, Texas. That was the first time I performed out in Texas was in Beaumont.
Okay, I was in Beaumont. And I was doing albums through the phone. Right? I'm talking about the wall phone, not the cell phone.
Right.
I had 3 different pack numbers. If y'all, my federal guys had pack number. I have 3 or 4 pack numbers. I hang up one, pick up the other one, you know what I mean?
Right.
Everybody keep it quiet for me, you know what I mean? That type shit. And they got hip to it because it was an article in the paper. Twisted Blacks using federal phones, still making music, but they weren't saying it in a bad way. They were just giving me my props. And the wrong person heard that and took it up the ladder. And so now they put me on, now they on my ass.
Right.
Yeah, and so, But that happened, and that changed my whole bid, bro, because they put me on what's called diesel therapy. Meaning, like, soon as you get to one place, I went to 9 compounds, bro.
9.
9.
Why all the movement?
That's what they do. They want you super uncomfortable. So now I'm under the radar because you're like what do they call it? Not high risk prisoner, but a like an influential prisoner.
Okay.
They think you can flip the guards. They think you got I forget the fucking name, but I try to forget most of prison. But
Yeah.
And then there was the situation that you may be talking about. I'm on the phone with Bebe, and he's a radio. He was on the radio then, and they heard that, and they came and got me, and the shit started all over. Yeah, it was a bunch of shit. But I was, man, anytime, this was the thing. This is who Twisted Black is. This is who Twisted Black is. If I could get a motherfucking dial tone while I was in the feds, I was finna rap.
It's finna rap.
I don't give a fuck. And when cell phones came,
It was over.
better say it is, over with. I'm talking about I'm on the Audio Evolution program, recording myself and all. Man, please, I wouldn't. Man, you give me a dial tone, the shit's getting out.
Yeah, yeah.
And my city supported it.
Dope.
Like a
Dope.
motherfucker.
Now, after 17 years, 2 months, you get out. How hard was it to adapt that, like, okay, I'm not locked up anymore? Did it ever go away? Has it gone away?
Not fully, man, because you don't realize the damage, right? You don't realize the damage that you have endured or that has been inflicted. I'm not blaming nobody,
Right.
but in other words, what we say in jail, burn up. You don't realize you burn up until you start. Like I never forget. I'm riding on the toll, panicking. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't find where to put the motherfucking money at. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've been gone that long. I can't put the coins nowhere in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then on a more serious note is my own wife. Like I'm realizing, like, she like, damn, you're so abrasive. But shit, I've been around men for 17 years and 2 months. There's always with some anger. So she may ask me a question and I'm sharp. And I'm not even trying to be sharp with her. You
Right.
know, it's like, hey, you don't handle me like that. You know, I'm like, damn, I ain't in my bag. But you don't realize it because that's what you've been dealing with. You've been dealing with other men and they try to run schemes and games. You ain't having it. You ain't then on different coasts and shit like that.
Yeah, my brother, he did 11 years in federal. And when he came out, there were certain words that I would say that he would take offense to. Like, okay, out here, it's not a big word for us when we play around and we'll say something like, that's some bitch shit. Oh, you're still acting like a bitch, fool, okay? It's just an insult. Somebody will say, well, fuck you or whatever.
Right.
But I said that to him, man, some bitch shit. You should have. And he said, what did you say to me? And he wanted to throw down. I was like, what's wrong with you?
Right.
You know? And he was like, don't you ever call me a fucking bitch.
Right.
And I was like, you need to calm the fuck down, bro. Seriously. I said, don't try to implement your fucking prison rules here in my motherfucking house, bro. Okay? We out here. We ain't locked up no more. I don't care how many burpees or how many spreads you ate, you know? And it took him a while to, like, adapt to, like, you're not in prison anymore.
Right.
You know, so, yeah, bro. So,
True story. I mean, because at the end of the day now, with people, if you've been locked up or you had someone that's locked up, then you really understand the conversation or what we're saying. But it's a different world.
it is.
Literally.
Yeah.
It's a different world. Like, I got one of my brothers named Taiwan. He never, ever understands the logic. Like, if one of my guys pull up and they're telling the story, he'll sit there for a minute and be like, so why did you fight him? I'd be like, that was the second time he looked at me, fool. But why did you fight him? Because I knew it was going to be a third time, nigga. Yeah. He don't get it because he's using this world logic.
Right.
But in that world, you have to nip shit in the bud because if you're playing mental chess, you know what's coming next. So
You know what's coming.
Let me go ahead and stop this right now. You think it's sweet right here? You know what I mean? Let's go.
Right.
You know, and it's crazy that you have to live
Yeah.
like that, but hey, you know, it is what it is.
You know, It is crazy that you have to live like that. And I want to share something with my audience. There's been times that I get recognized because of this podcast, okay? And I have a lot of people that come up to me and, Tony, man, keep doing what you're doing. Tony, I love what you're doing. Yeah, I'm used to it. That's why I don't say nothing. But those are fireworks in the background, everybody. So I don't really say anything to these people that come up to me. The only thing that makes me feel uncomfortable is when somebody recognizes me. Say I'm at a restaurant. I've had a guy that, like, I'm eating, let's just say I'm on this side of the bar, you're on that side of the bar, but you're a little bit more further. And I'm eating, and he's just, and so I'm like with my son or a friend, and I'm like, okay, this motherfucker's pissing me off. And he just keeps looking at me. So then he turns around and looks at his lady, and he's like, and then he looks at me like that again, and he goes, and I'm like, okay. And I told, like, I think I was with my son or one of my daughters. I said, you know what, Jess, we're going to walk out together, and I'm going to stand right here where I got to pay. I need you just to walk out because I'm about to fuck this dude up. And she said, please, Dad, don't. And I said, no. This dude's just staring way too fucking much. So I'm walking out, and I see him get up, so I know it's about to go down. His girl walks out, and I look at him, I go, what's up? And he goes, oh, Tony, hey, man, I knew that was you.
See, that's you got caught like a deer in headlights, and that's when the street guy in you is like at a purgatory with the podcast guy.
Yes.
And I get it all the time. What the fuck going on? Because that's the street. Like, we done did some things, and then, but man, Twisted Black, man, same shit.
Yeah.
So I understand exactly what you mean.
Yeah, it sucks, man. But like, that's why, like, if you're a fan and I appreciate your guys' support, just say, hey, what's up, Tony? You know, or I watch you or something.
Right.
But when you just sit there and you just stare,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know if that's a street stare or you're
Right.
trying to figure out, is that him?
Right.
You know, and I'm just like, oh, this guy ruined my whole fucking meal. Like, I didn't even finish eating my food and shit.
Yeah.
You know, but I do get recognized a lot. And I think when it started to bother me was when I'm at the gym. The first time I got recognized at the gym was like last year. I'm doing flat bench, okay? Doing flat bench. Keep in mind, my head is back. So when I'm going up, I see a guy, his head, he does this. Tony, is that you? While I'm lifting, bro. And I just put my, man, don't be doing that shit. What the fuck's wrong with you? Oh, I'm a fan.
Tony, I got to interview you. You been to jail?
No, thank God. In and out of county.
Your family been in jail?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, you so, okay, now I have to, I got to tell you what's going on with you. You burn up, Tom. You burn up. You burn. You suffered the same injuries that I suffered. It's trauma, brother. Mm-hmm. It really is.
Yeah.
Because if, like my brother back here, if he was doing benching and somebody looked at him, he'd be like, hey. That's what he would say. Hey, what's going on? You know?
Right.
But
okay.
me and you, we like, what the fuck, nigga? Fuck out of here. You trying to kill me?
Yeah.
You know
yes.
Yeah, because
I guess I didn't see it like that.
yeah, man. You should, because you got to keep in mind, when your family members or your partners, your close people,
My close friends, definitely.
okay, you did time with them. When you lost them, you did time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you come up in the streets like this motherfucker 5 feet from you trying to shoot at you,
Yeah.
then your car won't start. That sounds like a scary movie. Yeah, you got trauma, baby.
Yeah.
I-
You know, I'm glad you brought that up because there's times that I think that I've never got closure or healing from that. You know, and a lot of times, like, for an example, I remember when my brother came looking for me and he said, hey, they just killed somebody over here by the house. And I said, what house? We're in front of the house. And that's all I'm going to say. And I remember a time my house got shot at and they missed my dad by inches, you know. And I'm thinking, fuck, they're looking for me and my brother. I can't be bringing this shit home, you know. Then he kicked us out. The landlord kicked us out. Then we moved to another house around the corner. And then there was a fucking coyote that was sneaking people in. And people were saying that house was making too much noise. They thought it was us. They looked at us on the computer. Oh, that's the Alvarez. They're probably doing the same shit over there too because they raided our house. They fucking came to our door, get out. We don't want you living here. So we had to move a lot because that shit just followed us around a lot, you know. Then when even now when I still go to like my hood picnics and stuff like that, it's always It's always like that.
That's why when they say a product of your environment, I mean,
Right.
certain shit, man.
You know what was the hardest thing for me to let go? Okay, in the 80s when I was slanging just rocks, ounces, I was never like a big time dude. And I never wanted to be big time because I was told you got two choices, dead or in jail. That's it. It's the only choices you have. So I just said, let me just do this so I can buy some DJ equipment.
Right.
Okay. So one thing that me and my friends used to always carry ounces in our pocket. Okay. And one thing that took years to leave, that when I left that and I went legit and I started doing music and I started making money, that every time I would hear a siren or see a cop, I'd always pat myself. Still thinking, and then there's times even now as a 57-year-old man, when I'm driving, I see the cop, I'm thinking, is that motherfucker put me over? And really quickly, it goes through your mind, do I have anything?
Man, I don't know if we ever shake that. Because I do the same shit, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm squeaky clean now.
Yeah.
Squeaky clean.
Yeah. She looked at the camera like sugar free.
Yeah, but no, I get it, bro. Yeah, so you got burned, baby.
Yeah. Now, let's get back to your music, man.
Okay.
How old were you when you dropped either your first single or your first mixtape or your first album?
1995.
1995.
Call it.
Now, obviously, this is...
Oh, my God.
This motherfucker's like Beirut over here. You think it's bad in Iran?
Woo! No, I ain't scared. But, no, 1995, it was called Look What the Streets Made.
Look what the streets made.
Yeah, and...
When that came out, how was the response?
oh, man. My city went crazy.
No shit.
Hell yeah.
I heard your lyrics, and I played it for my son today, and he was like, Dad, send me that.
Oh, for real?
Dad, send me that.
That's what's up. Yeah. But I've always told stories, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So, yeah, Look What the Streets Made has some classic street story. And see, what it was is I had a movement out of, not just Fort Worth, but out of Texas, because motherfuckers knew my campaign was official.
Right.
So if I was talking about putting a nigga down, not the gang way put him down, but or whatever. If I'm talking my slick shit, I did this or did that, they like, he did this, he did that. You know what I mean? So that makes a person get behind you. I tell artists all the time, right now, don't try to rap about spinning, shooting people, having a pistol if you know you really did not do that. I'm not saying don't put no fluff on it, because most of them do.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you're not that, what's going to happen, especially a new artist, is the people that know you, they going to poke holes in your balloon before you ever get a chance to take a float. I'm like, man, that nigga's a mark.
Yeah.
He's a sucker,
Yeah.
man. I remember so-and-so smacked him, he wouldn't squabble. All that's going to come out.
It's going to, especially in this social media world,
I swear to God.
it's going to come out.
Yeah.
So honestly, don't fucking, here's what I said the last time I think we went live. I said this, MC Breed said, ain't no future in your fronting. Today, motherfuckers are fronting for a future.
Oh.
Okay, they're fronting. And I'm like, wouldn't it be better just to say, I saw this growing up, this is what the streets were like, this is what I saw?
That's why I don't like Rick Ross.
Okay.
I salute him for being a black man and being able to elevate and feed your family, but I'm not a fan, bro.
Okay.
You know why I'm not a fan? Because you were a fucking security guard. I don't have nothing against security guards, but I have something against security guards who say they weren't security guards. Okay?
Yeah.
I got a problem if you tell me, oh, it was so gangster that I really can't tell why I was a security guard. You was a goddamn lie. You was 19 years old, you needed a job, and that's what you should say.
That's it.
That's it. It's okay, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I know some security guard motherfuckers that's real motherfuckers.
Yes.
That don't make you fake. But what makes you fake is when you try to, I know Noriega, the real Noriega. Man, no, the fuck you don't. And if you do, I still don't believe you. I believe you were a security guard. You had the keys to lock me up, and you probably wrote me a goddamn infraction or whatever it is, like the rest of the police did. He's a goddamn cop. And you slid through the cracks, and now you don't see. But if you just listen long enough now, if you really from the street, and you listen to these suckers long enough, they will unveil it.
Yeah.
Whether it be from talking about the work, like put not palm olive in the dope. You do not put palm olive in the dope. You don't. Why the fuck would you do that? They're gonna taste the soap unless you bipping people. Okay, so the street people are gonna pick you apart. So
Yeah.
I felt like you were exploiting the community because if you talking about I sell dope on my iPhone, then you telling motherfuckers to sell dope with a GPS, right? Basically, to me, that's just me. So I feel like don't lead my kids to jail, motherfucker, when you was the cop.
Yeah.
So I just can't get it out of my system. I'm just not a fan, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I have nothing against the brother, you know, and if I was to see him today, man, how you doing, and be cordial, but I'm just not a fan of what I know of your character, you know.
Yeah.
And you got guys that do that right now with social media, man, you know what I mean?
There are more guys today that cause so much bullshit outside of music because of social media. For an example, it would be like, say I'm an up-and-coming rapper, okay? I'm not a rapper. I never tried to rap. I mean, the only thing I'm good at rapping is probably tamales and presents, okay? Now, here's my thing. Say that I'm an up-and-coming rapper, so I start a fight at a fucking bar, okay? I get kicked out, and then some troll page posts me. Tony ate this. Then I go to a nightclub the same weekend, fight with the fucking security guard, get thrown in jail. My mugshot makes social media. There are people that are more known for that than for their music.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and I'm like, is that the way to fucking go? So, well, let me ask you this question. Does music today, does it require talent?
No.
No.
It requires motion. Wherever you get that motion from, this is just my opinion, don't make it right. If you got the motion from the antics, from the foolishness, like you just said, my mother said I'm getting in trouble, the police follow me, whatever the fuck going on. If that's what, then you go in, you know, because if you think about it, you coming from a real music era. You really, music is in your DNA, like for real.
Yes.
How many talented rappers are there? This up though.
Yeah.
I'm talking about up. You got Lil Baby is super talented to me.
Yeah.
Dub Baby is super talented to me. You got your Drakes and your Kendricks and all of them.
Right.
But think about the other ones whose timing is really bad though. They really ain't on time, and their lyrics are really hat and cat. And the cadence is really some bullshit. It's the motion.
Yeah. It's the TikTok generation of rappers today that I'm going viral on TikTok. Doesn't mean your fucking song's any good.
They just want to go viral.
That's it.
Shout out to Hermes the guy. My boy, that's my boy. I love him to pieces. That motherfucker want to go viral. He don't give a damn. Real street motherfucker now.
Right.
He just want to go viral.
You know, okay, now let's talk a little bit about podcasting before we get back to your music. There's a lot of guys that have done podcasts and have said things that they shouldn't have said. Some of them got arrested or just got in trouble or got talked to either by the feds or by the police. Okay. My thing is this. If it's illegal, keep it a secret. Okay. Second, something that I don't tell the cops, why would I tell the podcaster?
Right.
You know, like for an example, say like, oh, I was there when homeboy got shot. Now I already put myself at the scene of the crime.
Right.
Oh yeah, so what were you doing?
Right.
Well, I'm the one that gave him the gun.
Right. You might as well say the rest of it. But here's the deal. See, I can attest to that because they say, you know, what you got to keep in mind, like we come from a generation to where we talked our life in the music. So in my trial, the district attorney tried to use my lyrics, and the judge was like, "No, I'm not gonna let that happen."
Oh,
right.
Okay.
And the district attorney stood up and said, "But why not, Your Honor? He says I'm gonna cook my way to the top. All I need is a Pyrex pot." So he said it anyway. But keep in mind, I'm in trial, right?
Right.
So the 12 motherfuckers heard that.
They heard it. He just dropped it. Yeah.
And then the judge turned around. This is the game they play in kangaroo court. Scratch that. You didn't hear that. How the fuck they didn't hear that, Judge? Shouldn't this be a mistrial?
Yeah.
You gonna rewind this motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? They did hear it.
Disregard his statement.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah.
You didn't hear that. You just goddamn lie.
You're
They
right.
did hear that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So my point is that I've done it. You know, talk my shit, right? Why I'm doing my shit, because that was my life. But I'm seasoned. So when I go on a podcast and I'm speaking to the podcaster, we're going to have a good time and I'm going to be authentic.
Yeah.
But I'm not finna cold case myself.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because
exactly.
that's what they'll do.
Yeah.
Especially for someone like me who the feds wanted to keep me locked up forever. They didn't even. They made me fight for every motherfucking reduction I got, and you know why? Because I would not tell.
Okay.
And they frown on that.
Yeah,
they do. It's a real thing.
Well, I will say this. There was a guy that I heard was looking at 25 years, and this was about 4 or 5 years ago when I saw him. And I said, bro, but he's not from this neighborhood. He's from a different neighborhood, okay? I heard you were looking at like 25 years. What the hell? And he told me he didn't lie, but he said this. I don't give a fuck. Snitching's in.
He ain't bullshit.
Okay.
He ain't bullshit.
That's what he said. He goes, I wanted to come home. Fuck that.
Man, listen, man. Okay, this ain't even sexy to say, but I say it, right? If you think that these motherfuckers is selling drugs or doing whatever they doing right now today, with snitching being so prevalent,
yeah.
If they're doing that and they're not gonna snitch, then they the dummy. Because your partner, look, you can't even put a bag. You can't put a bag on the motherfucker head no more.
Yeah.
They tell me I put something on your head. Man, you going to jail. Cause soon as he get caught, he telling.
Yes.
You might well do it yourself, champ.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just don't, far few in between are not telling, man. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just a real thing. And they looking at it from a logical standpoint now. They're not looking at it from the code that, Yeah, that shit's dead.
It's dead.
Yeah, so they're looking at it like, shit, man, my kid's 12. When I get home, they'll be 32. And then I don't even know you like that. Yeah, they started rationalizing all that shit. And then, especially some of these tender dick motherfuckers, most of them,
yeah,
the baby mama fine. They done bought her that ass and got to, spend all that money on her.
Yeah.
And they know she going to be fucking out both drawers legs. Man, please.
She's going to be homie hopping.
Man, your ass going to jail, champ.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he's going to tell. They ain't even going to have to twist his arm. He just reach for the motherfucker. He's going to tell, bro.
When dudes go to jail and they got a girl, do you think the girl stay faithful?
I do not, okay, because I've been through it, okay, on both, I've had, but here's the deal. Faithful, it depends on how you define it. If you think that she's not going to ever have a situation with another man, then, it could happen.
Right.
But more than likely, she's going to. But she don't have to leave you, though. You see what I'm saying? If she there for you and, fading that visitation and telling you the right lies and making sure you ain't one for nothing, then you have to accept that. Because would you do it? Would you not fuck another broad for 5-10 years?
Right.
Hell no, man. You been to jack the skin off your dick, man. You know what I'm saying? Your shit be pink. You have a monkey dick. There's no way that's not happening, man. So let's keep it real, and it's hard too because men, we talk that macho shit like, man, fuck a bitch, nigga, we stand down on the bitch, man, fuck a bitch, I tell a bitch, man, kick a bitch out. Man, we love all our bitches, man.
Yeah, yeah.
We love them bitches. Stop playing.
Me personally, I'll just make it simple. If I got 10 years and I got 2, 3, 4, 5 years invested in this girl, I'm most likely going to say, I want you to move on.
She's not going to do it. Because if she's got 2, 3, 4, 5 years vested in you, and she's apparently or obviously she's good, you found the woman in her. Most of the time, bro, they won't leave you because in their mind they have good intentions of being with you and waiting for you and being faithful. But life brings along situational things, bro, that you don't even intend. She's not intending on dogging you out or fucking with James over here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And she may be there when you get out, but that don't mean she ain't fuck James. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They usually won't, because I told my wife, I had been married for 23 years, bro. So at the time, it was maybe like 10 and some change. And I told her that. I got 30. Man, go ahead on. This ain't, it's no way. But I never thought I was going to do no motherfucking 17 years. I thought I was going to beat this shit. I was nigga rich and I was twisted black.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, she didn't move on that way. But
Okay.
time beat her down. Situations beat her down. Loneliness beat her down. Life is real.
Right.
You know, and that's just what happened.
I want to say something, and I know we're talking about music, but I want to talk about something that maybe there's somebody out there watching, and maybe they're for the streets right now. You know, they're doing their dirt and shit like that. But I want to share with you something that happened. My mom was always trying to talk to my younger brother because he was out there making money. He was out there doing his thing, and that's all I'm going to say, okay? And my mother was always like, they're going to catch you. They're going to catch you. You know, if not, you're going to end up getting killed because people are jealous. You know, people want what you, and I knew a lot of people were jealous of my brother because in their eyes, you're not hooking me up. You know, he's like, I hooked myself up. You know, nobody helped me. He was just a one-man team.
Mm.
Well, somebody got caught that he was working with. And of course, he snitched. Okay. They were looking to give my brother a lot of years, but he ended up doing 11. Now, my brother went in and tried to tell the whole family, don't worry about me. I'll be fine. But I want to tell you youngsters something, that while you have that mentality, you go to jail, you know who's suffering? Your brothers, your sisters, your mother, and your father. Because my mom died at a young age, and she never got to see my brother get out.
Mm.
She went through a hard time accepting that he was in jail. And every time he would call, she would be crying. She would write him. She would try to go over this much, but she was suffering, and she ended up dying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So what I'm saying is, you not only are you hurting yourself,
Mm-hmm.
but also your family members. Because I missed my damn brother.
Mm-hmm.
I missed him. I remember when I saw him, like I didn't know what to say. And then I had other people telling me, he did a lot of years. He's not the same. You know, so I don't know, like, am I getting this new guy? Or is it still my brother that I grew up with?
Mm-mm.
You know?
Yeah, it's your brother. But I lost my mom in prison. Now
I'm
was,
sorry to hear that.
Oh yeah, in 2016. So this is not that long ago for me.
Yeah.
But she same thing. She suffered. You know, I'm the only child. That's all we ever had. When we left Detroit, it was me and her. You know what I mean? When I did my first crime, I was telling her. You know, and everything. You know.
Yeah.
It's my mother. So I still think in my heart of hearts that me being in jail with that much time pushed my mother over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Took her down. And you're right. So I'm going to just say this and make you really understand, make them really understand what you're saying. You know how you said that, look, okay, your brother was going all that time.
Yeah.
And the effect it had on your mother. And your brother going all that time, that's the reason why you was finna fight the dude at the restaurant that just wanted to shake your hand. Look what he did to you. Those are the scars. See, those are the scars, bro. That because your people be it, the ones that love you, they be it with you. And that's the reason why when you told, if you would have told that girl to go on, she wasn't gonna go on because she loved you. Man, but life is a bad son of a bitch. Hey, let me tell you something. And I know you leading this podcast. I can't drive your podcast.
All good.
The hardest thing for me getting out of jail, champ, was realizing when I got out of jail, because you fight all this time. You fight tooth and nail to get out of jail. Keep your chin up. Make sure a motherfucker don't hold you up in there. You going to go when you know, if you a stiff motherfucker, you know, you going to do, hey, you fight to get out of there. You going to program. And then when you get on the other side of that fence, I'm telling you, anybody that's locked up that's listening, I swear, and I can't make you understand this, your hardest fight is going to be in the street, trying to do the right thing. That shit is the hardest thing I ever done in my motherfucking life. Yes, I have become, if you ever do your homework like streetwise, not fuck all the podcasts, the internet,
Of course.
make a couple calls and see who I am. Right? Not like I'm just no real super tough motherfucker. I'm not that, but I'm thorough. And that's no skeletons. And now I'm the guy that the young guys, when they did something wrong, when they see my, God damn, okay, I know. I've turned into that person that they don't want to talk to.
Oh, okay.
Because they know I'm finna be like, man, what the fuck is you thinking? What is you doing? I
Right.
become the conscience, and it fucks me up, bro. You know what I mean? But my heart, cause jail worked on me, and when I got out here trying to do the right thing, that shit is super hard.
Yeah, it is. My brother's first job, he had to get a job. So he goes, I went to fucking Walmart. He goes, and the person that was doing the orientation was like this 20-year-old girl. And I asked her, do you guys hire felons here? I have to let you know that I'm a felon. She goes, oh, we hire anybody. I was like, fuck. He goes, Tony, they'll hire a fucking crackhead as long as he can walk in and fucking wear that fucking vest. You know, and I'm like, I know, I've been to fucking Walmart, you know, so.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to ask you this because we're getting close, but how did you meet Gotos?
I met Gold Toast through A Money. Shout out A Money, more music, right? A Money is an upcoming young man, and working with Gold Toast. Been working with him for years, and he got onto my music through kind of randomly through an engineer, and him and I kind of forged a relationship. And A Money is. And he's so official that he was like, listen, I'm going to rock with you, Black. But Gotos, he can connect the dots quicker than I can. And Gotos ended up, I went to Houston to shoot a video. We had talked a couple times with Houston to shoot a video. Him and I talked, man, and all glory to God. I think he felt my energy and my spirit, and he looked me right in my face, like, in his truck, we sat there. He said, man, yeah, I'm already helping you, but I really want to help you now. So I'm like, I appreciate it. Say, no, man. He said, just after meeting you, like, I really want to help you.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what it's been.
And it's been, how has it been working with him? Is it been going good?
Oh, yeah. As far as being progressive, I mean, because he gets shit done.
Yes, he does.
Goto gets shit done. But, oh, my God, it's hard to talk to this man. God, he talks so fast, and then he going to talk over you, and then he going to let you talk. And then I'm like, God damn, Gotos. Gotos connected dots, man.
I know. I've been in the car with him when he's been texting while he's driving on the freeway. You know?
Oh, he tough. He going to do multitask is understatement.
It is. It truly,
He on the phone with me. Yeah, I'm sending you Tony Yales. I'm sending you Tony Yales right now. Tony Yales, da, da, da. I'm like, man, what? How you did? Yeah, true story. Yeah, and they money don't realize it because they've been working together so long, right?
Right.
He sounds just like him. He talks just that fast. He's trying to do it. All right, Tycoon, woo, blah, blah, blah. And then it's just, you could tell that that he kind of pulled him in because it's the same thing. And, man, it's been a joy.
All good.
Thus far, man.
All good. So you said, you just talk a little bit about your record. You said you dropped the record about 2 weeks or 2 months ago?
No, it's been like maybe 3 weeks now.
Okay, 3 weeks
It's called
now.
Story Time.
Okay. How many albums is this now?
Oh, man, I got about 33.
33.
Yeah.
Okay. Which one is your favorite if you have one?
It would have to be, my favorite one is probably this one.
Okay. And what makes this one so different?
Because I finally got my pocket back. Like, the other ones were good prior to prison. Then when I got out of prison, I made 5 albums from prison.
Wow.
Yeah, five.
How did those do?
They did. It was like jab. They were jabs, just like we was in a fight.
Okay.
Those were the jabs because they were setting up for me to be able to come home and remain relevant, and it worked. But yeah, I say this one is my favorite because I got back in my pocket and people appreciate it. You know what I mean? They're like, that's what we're looking for, because when you come home, you're trying to get the people what they want. You're trying to do what's relevant. You're trying to prove to yourself that you can stay relevant. Hey, man, I know I got older, but I was on ice and all that. You're trying to prove shit.
Right.
But I didn't with this album. I just did what I want to do. I love music, and this is what I'm doing. And hopefully you like it and you appreciate it, and it's been going well.
I'm going to show you something really quick. This is the one I sent to my son, and I came across it, and I just kind of wanted to play just a little bit. Maybe you can elaborate on this one. Let me see. Here it is right here. I'll only play just a small little portion. I think this is it. I don't know why my Wi-Fi is acting stupid here. Alex, let me take it off because I want to show this song right here. Text. Let's see. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's the one that brought me back.
What's the name of it? Elaborate a little bit on it.
Okay, that's the song that went nationwide here lately. It's called "My Little Nigga."
Okay.
And I was just telling the story. Rest in peace, Lil Ronnie, that lost his life and his daughter's life. And I was talking about Yayo, and I was talking about. But what I was doing, I made the song like 6 weeks prior to any of this even happening, man. I still remember it was 4:47 a.m. when I finished writing the song. And I knew when I laid the pen down, I'm like, yeah, I got him. I knew that was him. And I went on Bebe's show and I did that freestyle. And that's the one when Deion Sanders tapped in. And it went crazy. It's, over 1 million now. And but that song, I was just saying how the young rappers got so much motion out of Fort Worth, but nobody really hip because nobody makes a conglomerate push to knock the wall down.
Yeah.
And I was saying, and if we don't, then this could happen or that could happen. And this is just a scenario. And the shit was so real and kind of aligned with what happened with Ronnie and Yayo and the cartel and all that. And motherfuckers start, oh, you snitching. You telling people, man, it's a goddamn made up story, man.
Yeah.
True story, man. That's the first time in my life I had ever been called a rat. I'm like, you a rat. I'm like, what?
You're telling a story.
Call me a rat.
Right.
But yeah,
Right.
that internet a bad motherfucker, man.
It is, bro. It is.
Woo. Takes getting used to.
So, some of them will praise you, and then when something bad or they think it's bad, they'll fucking.
Oh Lord, I'm gonna tell you what Bebe told me. Man, I'm finna get under this table. We got Bebe told me, he said, if you live by the cheers, you'll die by the booze. So blacks stop paying so much attention to what they say. So now when I post or something, like I engage because I engage my fans.
Live by the cheers, you'll die
By the booze. And I took that to heart because I knew how it made me feel when they would say personal things. Like you could call me whatever. You can talk about my face. You can say whatever. I don't care. But man, if you call me a rat, oh my God, that one just hits different. That's like when you called your brother a bitch. I'm like, whoa, man, that's tough.
Right.
Yes, but now I'm just like, okay, I realize y'all just say all kind of shit in your phone and all these.
That's why when I podcast and I'm gonna quote somebody, I take my time and say, I'm only quoting him because he said it this year at this time on this channel.
Right.
So go look it up because some people will just take the little part when I say it. Look what Tony's saying.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, no, you stupid bastard. Go back and watch it in context. So, and believe me, I've been accused of some bullshit, and I've never logged off, never deactivated, never nothing.
Right.
I was just like, well, look, if you're one of those guys that believes, and we would take phone calls. Call in right now. The phone number's on there. Hello, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Nobody would call in. Maybe one guy would call in and fucking make a noise. Fuck you, or something like that.
Right.
Okay, cool, bro. I'll give you 30 seconds to go. Say whatever makes you feel better. Fuck your podcast. Okay, you done? Okay, cool. Have a blessed night. Click.
Yeah. That was real strategic.
So I'm not gonna sit here and shoot missiles with at a motherfucker,
No. Yeah, hell no. No,
So-
I don't say nothing back.
Oh, all good. So your album is on all platforms right now?
Every platform, and my social media handles is The Twisted Black on all social media.
Okay, we have it on the description. So
Okay.
if you guys want to go follow him,
Yeah.
follow him.
Please, if you're into some good music and you want to hear it cut from that cloth, check me out.
And give us the name of that song again.
That's called My Little Nigga.
Okay, and is that on the album?
That's on the album. That's the one that it brought me back, bro.
Okay, you guys got to honestly check it out. What makes it different for me was not only the storytelling, but the music. It almost just sounded like an acoustic or something.
Music.
Yeah.
I wasn't scared to do music. And so that's what I did with the album. Because I had been scared to do music because what music was happening.
Right.
More like it's just beats.
Now, as far as the production, who did you work with on the production of this record?
That was I did A guy named Ernie G out of Fort Worth, Texas. Real talented guy.
Ernie G. Okay, we got 2 Ernie G's out here.
Oh, is that right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah, Ernie
Okay.
G, yeah.
And did you work with any other producers?
On the album?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Man, my strongest producer is probably Keys on the beat. And, yeah, I got good songs with 24. Man, you know what? There's some guys out of Russia.
Really?
I don't know how I got hip to them. They did my song called "Is Rooftop." Is the video without? They just tough. So I give producers a shot because I don't have one certain style of music. As long as it's good and it speaks to my soul, I rock with it.
That's good. That's good. Any producers out there you want to work with?
I've always wanted to work with Dr. Dre. Yeah, because I knew that if Dr. Dre saw what I was able to do with a pen, then he could give me what I need to do. You know what I mean? But not Scott Storch.
Okay.
I always want to work with Scott Storch too. So yeah.
The greatest storytelling rapper out there. Who is it for you?
And people gonna think it's cap, and this is not cap. And I'm not saying what I think I'm supposed to say because it's crazy. Because I just talked about that with my brother yesterday. Right. The greatest storytelling rapper is me.
Okay.
It is. I'm not the biggest, and I'm not the most. My career has not been as prominent as theirs because I've been. And it's not an excuse. Hell, I've been gone.
Yeah.
But if it's not me, then it's Scarface.
Scarface.
If you're talking story, and I never say I'm better than him. I'm just saying right now, I got more stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Scarface. Do you remember when he dropped his first solo album? They all had shotguns. Bushwick Bill was in there. Willie D was in there. And
Just Like Gangsters or something like that?
Yes. And there goes, Mr. Scarface, we're walking down.
Of course.
Remember, he did that on that album.
Right.
Okay. When I first heard that album, I was in Texas. Okay. And I remember walking away saying to myself, a sane man could not have wrote that record.
Right. That's how insane the record was.
Yes. And then he had a song called, it was just so blunt. I like pussy. Pussy drives me crazy.
Pussy, yeah.
Like it was just like, what the fuck? Like, but
man, Face is bananas.
He is.
And I'm gonna tell you, if people not really hip to Face and his storytelling ability, this is why I have a problem telling. I just told people this live in band practice the other day. I said, man, a lot of people get in my DM talking about, man, you better than Scarface, you better. And I said, I am not better than Scarface. To me.
Right.
But when it comes to telling a story right now, if I don't nose him out, nobody does. Nobody beats him if it's not me. But if you go back and listen to Never Seen the Man Cry Till I Seen the Man Die, he greets his father with his hands out. Rehabilitated child. Glad to be the man. So, you know, the world was different when he seen it last. Out of jail in 7 years, and he's happy that he's free at last. Fuck what he's saying. Look how he's saying it.
Look how he's saying it.
The inflection. He reached his father with his hand. See, that's what people miss. And it's like the cartoon when they used to play the fucking flute and all the motherfucking rats come out and he, but really he finna kill him. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like the Pied Piper or the snake charmer. And the snake come out and shit. It fucks with your mind. It's the psyche. It's like music theory. And he's turning his voice into an instrument. And yes, I pattern myself after that.
Wow.
Yeah. Great.
Okay. If you had to, after Scarface, who would it be next, in your opinion?
Ice Cube.
I was going to say Ice Cube.
Of course.
Now, would Slick Rick be up there in the top 5?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's just a matter of fact, let me take that back. I'm going to go Slick before Cube, and the reason being is because, actually, it doesn't matter. It's arguable.
Okay.
Because Slick told a story, it could, in a cartoon voice or whatever, and it was such a story that you followed the whole mother freaker. And Cube would tell you a story so sarcastic and street at the same time, so they both just great. You know what I mean? Just real talk.
What was that one? Say the one about the kids, man. The fucking kids. Hickory dickory dogs. It was 12 o'clock. She was giving up the cock.
Man.
Was it Gangster Fairy Tale or some shit like that?
I remember it, but I'd be lying or capping to say that I could quote it like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like people like him and Slick Rick, when they did story time, or like raps, I guess, they were so dope that you sang along with them because you knew them.
Because you know them.
You know, they made them fun, like, you know. And that's one thing I like about storytellers. Some people will throw in Eminem in there. I don't know. What's your opinion? Because I'm not a rapper.
Eminem is super talented. Like,
Okay.
I give him super talented, and he could tell you a hell of a story. But Eminem is more of to me, he's just one of the top 5 lyrical motherfuckers ever.
Okay.
But he just don't. He could tell. Can't say he can't tell a story because he can.
Yeah.
He can do anything,
Yeah.
but not one of them to where Slick Rick literally told you. Slick Rick literally would tell you, once upon a time, not long ago, time lived like he opened it up with once upon a time. So he's literally telling you a story.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You know, Cube could tell you a story to where he make you not like who he talking about.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? He make you pick a side. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's the, you know, Eminem could tell you a story and be like, man, this white boy crazy, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're okay. Before we wrap it up and do some shout outs, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you think, as far as musically, I'm not talking about money or popularity, but do you think Kendrick ruined Drake's career?
Far from it.
Okay.
Far from it. Man, Drake is so super talented, man. Kendrick made a great song.
Okay.
He did it, and then he came at him with whatever. Had no effect on Drake's career whatsoever because Drake is consistently good.
Okay.
I don't buy Drake shit. It's not.
Of course.
It's not what I ride around listen to Drake. But I'm into music, and I realize this man is special. Both of them are special. So you got 2 special guys coming at each other. You know what I mean? But Kendrick got just a little more edge. So you expect for him to be able to nose him out on that one.
Right.
You dig what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Other than your record being hot, who's got a hot record out right now?
Album or record?
It doesn't matter. Whatever. Who's making noise? At least in your opinion.
Right now, I would have to say because I was just listening to like somewhat. Okay, I was listening to Lil Baby's new album because I'm impressed with that kid to be so young. But man, I have to say it, Finesse 2 Times. That he got some he got some good shit. I was just listening to it up at the shop the other day, and he's snapping.
Okay.
Yeah, Finesse 2 Times. I don't know if you're a fan or not.
No, are you familiar with him, Alex? Okay. He likes all the other stuff that I don't like.
Okay, yeah.
Like he's a big Travis Scott guy.
Okay.
Trap music.
Oh, okay. He trapped out.
Yeah, he trapped out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really care too much for that. I mean, I don't think that they're whack. It's just not my cup of tea.
It's not your cup. Yeah. Hey, guess what though? Most of the time, people could say I'm a narcissist or whatever. If I'm not listening to dead ass silence, it's usually something that I'm working on. You know, and then every now and then, because my phone, Apple Music comes on instantly when I jump in. You know, I'll just be playing some other shit. Actually, man, I was playing Glorilla on my way up here. Yeah. Special type of bold, dark skin, you know, whatever she called that my type, you know.
Right.
I like to see those. I like to see the underdogs get it in, bro.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
So,
yes.
yeah.
Big Dog, is there anything that I didn't ask you?
Man, you asked me everything but my motherfucking birth certificate for my birth.
What about your birthday? What's your birthday?
10/18, October the 18th. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't want to give the year, huh?
Yeah, I didn't think much about it.
It's all good, bro.
I know.
I'll tell you October, baby. Okay.
Yeah, I'm October, baby.
I just had mine March 28th,
Okay, cool.
1968.
Cool, bro.
So, but all good, man. So what do you got planned now that you're out here in LA?
We're gonna do a couple more podcasts, man. Like I said, Gold Toes and A Money got me set up real proper. No Jumper, I think it's Food Community and Frenzy or some things like that. Maybe I'm not sure, but actually, maybe not. Maybe next time. You know what I mean? So, because he told me to make sure that I come here. He said, if you don't go to the other ones, just make sure you come here.
Well, I truly, truly appreciate Gotos. He's been through here twice, and he's brought a lot of artists to me here as well. He flew me out there. I stayed at his house. Him and his wife, his son, they were great hosts. They treated me with nothing but love. They fed me like a king, seriously.
Oh, shit, he tried, man, not only did he, same thing.
Yeah, we ate like kings, bro. And that's one thing that I told him. I said, bro, like, I feel like I was the fucking pharaoh himself.
Did he give you did he try to put you on that ginger shit?
Ginger?
Yeah, that little drink that he makes.
No, he didn't.
Had me shitting all the way up the highway. Man, I'm serious.
Gave you the Hershey squirts.
Man, I'm talking about, man, I had my stomach popping thinking about it. But yeah, shout out to them, man. Thank you for being such an incredible host, brother.
Oh, well, thank you for being such an incredible guest and for opening up and being open and honest. I mean, because I had asked you anything you don't want me to ask you. I'm an open book. Let's go. No skeletons.
Let's go. No skeletons.
And that's the way you should be, because I hate catching people off guard after I already asked them.
Right.
You know. But other than that, any other shout outs?
Man, no, man. Everybody knows I love them, man. But I'm gonna send this is anybody listening, and if you go give my music a listen, tag Sugar Free. Tell them we need to get us one. We need to get us one.
Okay.
Yeah, because he talked that shit.
Okay. Everybody tag Sugar Free when I post up the picture on my Instagram, and I'll tag you as well.
There you go.
One last thing. It just slipped my mind right now when you said that. Anyways, it'll come back. Other than that, once again, I want to thank Gotos for the connection. I want to thank once again Twisted Black. The name of your album once again?
Storytime.
Storytime, once again, on all platforms by Twisted Black, Storytime. Make sure you check it out. And then the name of that song that we played?
My Little Nigga.
Okay. Other than that, I want to thank my team. I want to thank everybody on the live chat. I want to thank everybody who tapped in. I know we just started promoting today. I usually promote it days beforehand. But once again, it was my mistake. I totally forgot that we had an interview going on today. So my bad on that. But make sure you guys let everybody know, comment, like, subscribe, and share. But please smash that like button. And we'll be back with another episode soon. Other than that, I got 2 major announcements coming for next month and for September. So please stay tuned, okay? Other than that, once again, thank you, my brother.
Fort Worth, Texas, stand up. We here.
Fort Worth, Texas, all good.
Yep.
Thank you. Take us away, Alex.